The next day, Min and Kang came across a small passenger, a child who could see Kang. The child told them that ever since his parents were gone, he could see spirits. He explained to Min that his taxi was known for fulfilling good deeds and asked if he could help find his sister, who had been missing for several days. Min suggested that maybe the child should be taken to the authorities. The child told them that both the officers and his teacher believed his sister ran away from home. He added that it was his birthday the previous day and his sister had never left him alone on his birthday. He pleaded with them to let her know and to help him find her. Min asked for the address of his house and they took him there. His grandmother thanked Min for bringing her grandson home and offered them some money. Min mentioned that the money was too little, so the grandmother went inside to get more. Kang pointed out that Min was taking money from a child and an elderly woman. Hearing that, Min gave all the money back to the child and asked him to stay with his grandmother. He even cooked food at their house. Afterward, Min didn't want to help the child look for his sister because he didn't want to get unnecessarily involved in someone else's life. But after some time, he eventually agreed. The next day, both of them went to meet the child's sister's friends. All the girls belonged to rich families. When they met, they started accusing Haeol, the missing girl, of being the one who probably ran away from home. Among those girls, one couldn't tolerate the harsh things being said about Haeol and ran off. Min and Kang noticed this and began chasing after her. On the way, a group of goons attacked them, and goons who were sent by the same other girls. Fortunately, Hyeol's best friend saw the goons and quickly asked the police officers for help. The same two officers showed up and fought off the attackers. Min and Kang were rescued, though Min got badly injured and was treated by Dojin. Later, Kang told Min to forgive her, explaining that she was the one who convinced him to do all of this and that he got hurt because of it. Min replied that there was no need to worry, since he chose to do it all by himself, and said they would continue searching for her. But the next morning, they found Hyeol's bag and phone near a river, along with her last written note, which suggested she had committed suicide. The officers treated it as a suicide case, but Kang grew suspicious after reading the note because he had earlier noticed her handwriting style in Hyeol's room, that she always signed her notes, but this particular note lacked a signature. The thing is that Hyeol's best friend and she were working as part-time workers. It revealed how all the other students used to bully her in school. Hyeol didn't like this at all and always encouraged her friend to stand up to the bullies. Mira, the ringleader, constantly tried to scare her. One day, on a mountain, the same bullying happened again, and Hyeol came to protect her. But while on the mountain, something went wrong and Hyeol slipped and fell to her death. Witnessing this, Mira became extremely frightened. She scared the other girls by revealing the truth, saying that if they spoke up, they would all get into trouble. Hyeol's best friend eventually told this entire story to Min. All three of them then went to the top of the mountain to search for Hyeol. While looking around, Min almost fell off a cliff, but Kang suddenly caught her hand and saved her. Kang couldn't believe she managed to grab his hand, since she was a soul. After that, they discovered Hyeol's body and took her to the car, and she was still breathing, which meant she was left there alive. The child, his brother, and their grandmother rushed her to the hospital, but despite all efforts, the doctors failed to save Dojin Hyeol. She passed away shortly after. Her spirit came to the little boy and his brother and said she was sorry for not being there on his last birthday. The boy wept deeply seeing his sister in that state. He told her over and over that she couldn't leave him and kept asking if it was really her. Just as her spirit was about to disappear, Dojun didn't give up on her, and, like a miracle, Hyeol started breathing again. The next day, Hyeol and her brother met again, and her best friend also visited them with her favorite dish, and they all shared a joyful reunion. Later, Min and Kang returned home. On the way, Min confessed to Kang that he liked her. Kang liked him too, but she couldn't say anything because she would disappear. She told him that a human and a spirit couldn't fall in love. Meanwhile, Kang informed the officers that, according to his sources, a hospital staff member may have been involved in the incident. Everyone grew suspicious of Youngwoo. Dojin finally dismissed Youngwoo from the hospital, but he tried to blackmail them by saying he knew a secret that could destroy the hospital's reputation. Meanwhile, Min and Kang went on a date and happened to run into Dojin and Suri, who were also on a date. Upon seeing Dojin, Kang suddenly experienced a flashback and told Min that the man recognized her and asked him to show him her photo. It was then revealed that Dojin already knew Kang and explained that she died on the same day as Min's mother. This discovery hinted at a deeper connection between their fates. They quickly passed on this information to the officers, but the officers replied that it might just be a coincidence. Afterward, the officers began suspecting a senior nurse named Hae. Meanwhile, Min and Kang continued to look into the mystery of death as Min grew more suspicious about how many things connected his mother and Kang. While investigating further, they met the soul of a man who had been staying on the hospital terrace for months. That man told them he could help, but only if they fulfilled his last wish. They agreed. Kang reflected on their situation, saying it was sad that no matter how much someone loves another, the thought of being separated one day brings anxiety. Min responded by asking whether they should be afraid of that day or focus on the days they still had to live freely. After that, he kissed Kang. The next day, they went on another date, during which they got into a fight. This reminded them about the man who offered to help. They found out that his name was Du. He was once an officer, and Kang's father was his friend. Though Kang was no longer alive, Du knew a lot about the case because he had spent years confined in that hospital. In return for his information, he asked them to fulfill his final wish to say goodbye to his daughter, who lived abroad. It turned out that his daughter recently came to Korea to give a speech, and when they tried to meet her, she left in anger upon hearing her father's name. She hated him for never giving her time, always being consumed by his work. Du was heartbroken after hearing this. Later, Min helped the girl emotionally and brought her to the old house where she and her father used to live. There, Du sat sadly every day, regretting that he couldn't care for his daughter. He had even sold her away in childhood. Though he couldn't fix the past, he just wanted to apologize and give her those moments of peace. He also reminded him of the time they had spent together. She was able to hear all these things through the young man. At first, she couldn't believe it since she was a scientist and didn't believe in ghosts, but when she heard so many personal details coming directly from the young man's mouth, she had no choice but to believe. At that moment, she broke down in tears and forgave her father. Du's final wish to apologize to his daughter was now fulfilled. After this, he revealed a secret related to the case. He gave them an address and told them to go there, saying they would understand everything once they reached that place. As soon as he said this, he disappeared. On the other side, the scene shifts to Dr. Dojin's hospital, where Young-hoo suddenly attacks Dojin with a knife. Young-hoo then escaped. Following this, Nurse Hyun approached Dojin, and it was revealed that she had a special connection to him because she was actually the caretaker of Dojin's father. Meanwhile, Kang and the young man reached the address Du had given. There they found a dead body. The address turned out to be connected to Young-woo. Inside the room, there were many photographs, including some of Min. It was then revealed that Nurse Hyun lived in the neighboring flat. When she saw Min near the dead body, she immediately called the police, and Min was arrested. At the same time, another secret was uncovered. Kang's father entered a secret room in his house, where it was revealed that his daughter, Min Kang, was still alive and receiving treatment. She was actually in a coma, not dead. While in police custody, Min requested his friends not to let his grandmother know about the situation. He was kept in custody overnight. The next day, both officers came and released him, saying that they had found the real killer. It was Jung-woo. The motorbike used in the murder belonged to Jung-woo, and the dead body in the house also belonged to the woman he had killed. After this, Kang stepped out and noticed a photo pinned to the board. It showed Kang with her father. Upon seeing it, both Kang and Min realized that Kang was his daughter. They went to meet her at her house. When Kang saw her father, she became very emotional. Earlier, she had told Min not to reveal to her father that she was a spirit, but Min, who posed as her friend, told Kang that he had known his daughter for years and that she and his mother were very close, and both of them had died on the same day. He suspected that the two cases might be connected. Kang's father agreed that it was possible, but said there was still a secret he hadn't yet shared. He acknowledged that the young man had been friends with his son, but admitted he still didn't fully trust him and needed time to think. He was referring to the secret related to Kang's coma. Afterward, he went to her room and spoke to her unconscious body, asking whether he should tell Min the truth about her still being alive. Meanwhile, Kang and Min encountered the spirit of the woman whose body had been found in the apartment. The spirit told them that Jung-woo hadn't killed her, he was actually her boyfriend, and he hadn't murdered anyone. After hearing this, they set out to find Jung-woo, believing he was the only person who knew the identity of the real murderer. However, there was a CCTV camera installed directly above the spot where they were talking to the spirit. Although spirits don't appear on camera, Dr. Dojun was able to observe the footage, but he couldn't see the spirit. But he noticed that Min was interacting with something invisible, which immediately caught his attention. Meanwhile, a woman who had a speech disorder was admitted to the hospital. As soon as Dojun learned that the elderly woman was the mother of Min's friend, he gave a strange, unsettling smile. The very next day, her funeral was held, implying that Dojun had killed her. Shockingly, he even attended the funeral to express false grief. But when Kang watched him carefully, he noticed that instead of crying, Dojun kept giving sinister smiles. Kang grew suspicious and told Min to ask him why he was there. When questioned, Dojin said he was attending the funeral of a special patient, but Kang wasn't convinced. Then, Yosu's mother's spirit appeared before the young man. When he told Yosu about it, she didn't believe him until her mother shared private memories that only Yosu could have known. This made her accept the truth. After that, they went on a road trip together because it had been her mother's last wish to go on a long trip with her beloved daughter. Once that wish was fulfilled, her mother's spirit also disappeared, finding peace and freedom. Later, when Min returned to his house, he discovered that Dr. Dojun had already come to visit. Dojun claimed that Min's grandmother had called him, but Kang noticed that Dojun was secretly inspecting the house, which increased her suspicion toward him. It was then shown that Dr. Dojun had actually kept Jungwoo tied up in a hidden location, revealing that Dojun was behind all of the dark events that had unfolded. Later, Kang went alone to Nurse Hyun's room, where she discovered that the motorbike involved in the murder actually belonged to the nurse. After uncovering this truth, Kang asked Min to reveal the real murderer to everyone. She asks him to give the photo to the officers, and he does exactly that. Then, Dr. Ju Jin kills Jungwoo and kidnaps Min. While holding him captive, he reveals that everything that had been happening so far was orchestrated by him alone. He confesses to killing Min's mother and Kang as well. Laughing, he tells Min that while he was killing them, Min believed he was saving them. He says, "You were praying for me to save their lives, but I was the one ending them. How strange it is that you spent all this time respecting the man who murdered your own mother." From here we go into a flashback. We see how Min's mother used to drive a taxi every day. However, at the time, Min didn't treat her well because he was embarrassed that his mother drove a taxi just to bring money home. He didn't like it at all. Meanwhile, Kang was a police officer who had teamed up with a group of taxi drivers, including Min's mother, to catch criminals. That's how Kang and Min's mother became close friends. One day, Min's mother gave her hairband to Kang, who wore it to a party. This party was actually part of an investigation where they were trying to get information about a victim through Nurse, who was Kang's friend. That same night, she brought Hyun to her home, where Dr. Dojun was also present. They gave her a drink that made her unconscious. Then, as usual, Dr. Dojun came out and was about to kill her while recording a video, just like he did with his other victims, but Kang somehow regained consciousness and escaped. Coincidentally, Min's mother's taxi was parked nearby and she helped Kang get inside. Just then, Dr. Dojun arrived. While talking to his son Min over the phone, he ran after the taxi and she tried to drive away, but suddenly, someone on a motorcycle came from behind and killed her with a brutal attack. Min was nearby and rushed to the scene. Dr. Dojun looked inside the car and saw that Kang had died, so he called an ambulance. Meanwhile, Min followed his mother with another taxi. The original taxi, which his mother had been driving, still had Kang inside, and she wasn't dead, just unconscious. The person on the bike dropped her off at Kang's house. The phone that was left in the taxi belonged to Kang, and her soul later became connected to it. Dr. Dojing had killed many people, no one knows how many, and he always made videos of his victims. He got pleasure from watching them suffer. He was a psychopathic killer who enjoyed both saving lives and taking them. He showed all these videos to Min about how he killed his mother Kang and his friend's mother. He used a lethal injection to kill them, and the supplier of the drugs was none other than Jang-woo. After killing, Nurse Hyun handled the rest of the cleanup. Actually, Dr. Dojun wanted to get rid of Jung-woo because he no longer wanted to be involved in his crimes, so Dojun killed both Jung-woo and his girlfriend. After revealing all of this, Dr. Dojun set fire to kill Min, but Kang tried her best to save him, and in the process, she gained a strange power that allowed her to save Min. The police arrived just in time because Min had shared his location with Kang earlier. The officers rescued him, but by then, Jang-woo was already dead. Dr. Dojun watched everything from a distance. Hyun arrived and said that as long as she was alive, she wouldn't let anything bad happen to Dojun. Meanwhile, Kang returned home, locked herself in a room and cried uncontrollably. She blamed herself for the death of Min's mother. Sometime later, Dr. Dojun showed up at the police station himself, but since there was no concrete evidence, the officers had no choice but to let him go. Later, he discussed with Hyun that Min seemed to have something that allowed him to uncover all the truths behind the cases. Young agreed and said she also saw him talking to himself, so they planted a hidden camera inside Min's taxi. From then on, Dojun was able to monitor Min all the time. The spirits of Young-woo, his girlfriend, and Kang were still present, and they were all furious. Jong-woo especially wanted revenge on Dojun for killing him and his girlfriend. Min promised to help them and take revenge. After that, Jung-woo and his girlfriend disappeared. Kang gave Min an idea that Jung-woo had once recorded a video that could serve as evidence against Dr. Dojun. They went to his old house and retrieved the recording. When Jung-woo saw the footage, he was terrified, realizing that the police would now catch him. He fled and went into hiding at a secret location. At that moment, Min began wondering how the two of them knew about the recording. He was sure he had hidden it somewhere, so he checked his taxi and discovered a hidden camera inside. Upon seeing it, everything became clear to him. He looked directly into the camera and said that they should wait for him as he was on his way. Then he walked toward the vehicle and declared that they now had proof and would find Dojun and kill him. Hearing this, Haeyeon, filled with fear, rushed to Dojin. The two of them quickly fled while being chased. Haeyeon then left the place at Dojin's request. After that, Min attempted to catch Dojin and ended up finding an old phone. The moment he held the phone, Dojin was suddenly able to see Kang. This left him shocked. He questioned how she was still alive and gradually realized that it was Kang's soul helping Min from the beginning. He told Min that although he had come a long way, he wouldn't be allowed to go further. He burned the phone, which made Kang vanish forever. By that time, the officers arrived and arrested Dojun, but surprisingly, Dojun seemed overjoyed, feeling as though he had defeated Min. Seeing Min cry, Kang's father asked what had happened. Min explained that Kang's daughter's soul had been with him the whole time, but now she was gone. She had been helping him from the beginning and had even come to Kang's house with him. Then Kang's father took him to the secret room. When Min saw Kang alive, his happiness knew no limits. He was overwhelmed with joy. Meanwhile, Hyun went to the police station and took full responsibility, saving Dojun. Dojun then got a job as a doctor, but that night, Hyun committed suicide in prison, leaving the officers completely shocked. Later, Dr. Dojun learned that Kang was admitted to his hospital. Upon hearing that she had been in a coma, he tried to kill her secretly so he could destroy all the evidence related to him. But just then, Kang opened her eyes and said hello to him. Dojin was terrified and Min managed to catch him. Even with the help of all the officers, they couldn't catch him. Dojin held Kang at gunpoint and tried to escape. A heated argument took place along the way. Eventually, Dojin met with an accident and they were able to capture him. After this, Kang and Min finally reunited. In prison, some spirits visited Dr. Dojin and gave him a painful death. These spirits were the very people he had wronged. Their revenge was now complete. After that, Kang rejoined her job as an officer, but her superior granted her a day off. During that break, she went on a date. Now that she was human again, she and Min enjoyed their time together. Min then visited a shaman, asking why he had seen so many spirits except his mother's. The shaman replied that she was trapped somewhere, as her last wish remained unfulfilled. He would find her there. Both of them followed the shaman's directions, which pointed them toward a restaurant. Min arrived at a special restaurant that had been his mother's favorite. There, he finally saw her. She began crying upon seeing her son after so long and said she had always believed he would come one day. Min apologized, but she told him it wasn't his fault. Kang promised her that he would always support her son and never leave him. She begged her for forgiveness, saying that if he hadn't met her that day, she might still be alive. But Min's mother insisted it wasn't her fault. She was just happy that her son would always be happy with Kang. Her final wish was to cook her son's favorite food, and it was now fulfilled, and with that she disappeared, finally free. The next day, the grandmother was preparing food at home and imagined that Min had come for dinner with his girlfriend. Her eyes then opened and she realized it had been a dream. But just then, the door opened and Min was actually standing there with his girlfriend, coming for dinner. Looking at Kang, the grandmother said she was the girl of her dreams and hugged her.